starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been there from the very beginning or just recently joined. I really appreciate all the love and all the support that all of you continue to give me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on instant media, particularly TikTok and Instagram. Your continued support really touches my heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, including the haters, which are really secret fans of mine. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on playback. Good evening, Julio Shabbat. I think it's been a long time since you've been here. Thank you very much for showing up. Okay. Also, I have another channel called Latina Diaspora, where I talk about issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. So I'm going to ask you to please check that channel as well. So tonight, we're going to be doing a shout out to the mothers. Okay, they are, for many of us, they are the unsung heroes. Okay, and they're the first people that we see, when we're born. They're the ones that many times they give us encouraging words, and they also provide a great deal of love and nurturing. I also recognize that for others, this weekend is a bittersweet weekend due to the fact that for many of us, our mothers, whether it be our biological mother or the mother who raised us, or the woman who provided a mother image, is no longer here with us physically. So it could be a bittersweet time, particularly in my case. But what we would do is we will honor the memory of all those great ladies that did provide a loving and nurturing environment for the time that they was with us. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So, one thing, and this is something that we all have to bear in mind, that whenever anyone, and I repeat, anyone, decides to become a content creator, whether it be here on YouTube or in any other platform. There's certain things that we need to understand. Number one, we all need to have a thick skin because there's going to be people that are going to, you know, have issues with us. Okay. Mainly it's because of our content, or it could be because of the people that we choose to associate with. Okay. The nature of things here in these YouTube streets. Okay. Also, as a content creator, okay, we all know must learn how to accept constructive criticism. Okay, and also we must also know um, when to fight and when not to fight. Okay, and whenever there are people who criticize us and call us nasty names, we need to just accept the fact that there's going to be haters, and that the best thing to do when it comes to hater is to pay as little attention to them as possible. Okay, all of us have had haters. Okay, no matter how big a creator, content creator you've been, or how small, and time we're all going to have haters. Okay, and sometimes even the haters themselves, they don't know why they hate us as far as our content. It could be simply as something as irrational, or what is their way of thinking. With that being said, of course we've been watching the back and forth between Creole Chief and Malala Vanguard. Now, of course, I'm not going to pick a side as far as who's right and who's wrong. Okay, I don't have a beef with either one of them, and it seems and I was and it appears they don't have a beef with me because I choose not to get involved. I choose not to pick a side. Now, today, of course, Creole Chief um, mentioned a couple, in a couple of streams, which was either privated or deleted, about some of the beef that he has had. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Um, in one of the videos that he posted, which was later deleted or privated, he spoke about either deleting his channel or privating his channel because okay, you know what, we can look. I understand that Creole Chief for some people is not exactly their cup of tea. I get it. Okay, but this is the thing that we all must bear in mind. And Irby, thank you very much for stopping by. And is that, look, people are going to say crap about us for whatever reason, but we shouldn't let it get to the point where we decide to delete our channel simply because of a couple of people that I have beefs with. Okay, um, again, I'm not picking a side with either one of those two. Okay, but this is the thing: if you're not wanting to accept the fact that you're going to have haters and to simply learn how to go on and get past the haters, um, you know that maybe being a YouTube creator is not exactly your cup of tea, or it's not, maybe it's not your calling, what have you. Okay, and when you think about it, let's keep it real. There have been YouTube creators that have been treated worse. Okay, there have been YouTube creators that have been doxxed. There have been YouTube creators that may raise false accusations regarding child abuse. There have been creators that have been, um, accused of being pedophiles and things of that nature. Exactly. And this is something, look, people are going to raise false narratives and people are going to make false accusations. There have been individuals that actually stated I was racist, okay, which is odd because basically anyone and everyone has been welcome to join the platform or make a comment in the chat. In fact, the only one that's been permanently banned is one individual, which I'm not going to mention, which I think we all know who that is, and Soccer Rice, but because most of the times that he's been here, he's been very disrespectful towards me. Good evening, Georgia. Thank you very much for stopping by, and thank you very much for your love and support. And I just want to let everybody know that Millennial Mulatto Georgia has this YouTube channel, which he produces a great deal of content. So I will ask if you have not done so, show some love to him and check out his content and subscribe. Okay. But getting back to my point, when you decide to create content, whatever is on your platform, you need to be prepared to have thick skin. You need to be prepared that people are going to have hate. You need to be prepared that there's going to have people that are going to try to create beefs with you. Okay. The bottom line is this: you have to learn to get past that and concentrate on your content. And if you're not able to do that, then perhaps the best thing to you is not even to try. Okay. If I had an opportunity to address Creole Chief, that would be my words exactly. And again, this is not, I don't say this out of anger. I say it as a fellow YouTube creator that dealt with stuff. And really, there have been people that have been through heck. Okay. Some of the people that appeared on my platform have had crazy accusations raised against them. Okay. Nevertheless, they're still here and they still continue to create content. And that's the point. And that's the difference because they have a level of maturity because they understand that not everyone is going to be tickled pink regarding their content and that they have decided to remain. They decided to be true to themselves and produce whatever content. And if those who that do not appreciate their content, they can go elsewhere. There's literally millions of different creators here on YouTube where you can find whatever content suits their fancy. So, and you just have to have thicker skin. Okay. Oops. And you know what, Jojo, you're proving my point for me. Okay, you're proving my point for me. Okay, you have had a lot of accusation leveled against you, but here you are. You continue to produce content which is extremely positive. Okay. And that's something that we all must bear in mind. Yes, exactly. And I think, look, you're not the only one. Gigi has been through the ringer. Multi has been through the ringer. My cyber daughter Denise has been through. I mean, a lot of these YouTube creators been through worse accusations. Okay, but yet they're still here, and that is my point. Okay, that is exactly my point. And I'm going to continue to produce content as long as I am physically able to do so. Okay, you know what? A huge shout out to you, Georgia, for your continued success. And let me tell you something. It's great that you have a furry canine friend. Okay, and that's something we all gotta bear in mind. So all I'm gonna say is to those who are thinking about being a YouTube creator, just be prepared for for the message you're gonna deal with, and then you have to make a determination whether or not that is worth it. Okay, as long as I am able, as long as the good Lord permit me, I will continue to produce my content. Those who don't like it, there's the door. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, as you can see by the thumbnail, tonight's topic is a shout out to the mothers. Okay, and when I mean the mothers, I don't mean just the biological mothers, the ones that actually gave birth to us. Okay, they're important, but I'm referring to all the women that provided a positive motherly image. That could be your grandmother, that could be your aunt, that could be your older sister, that could be that saintly, God-fearing lady from church. It could be anyone that provided a positive motherly image to all of us. Okay, and to me, many of them are unsung heroes. Okay, and why I say that, because with the responsible mothers, their concern and their priority is always their children, making sure that making sure that they're well fed, making sure they have clothing, making sure that everything's okay. And many times, um, the really strong mothers make sacrifices for themselves in order for their children to be well cared for. And many times, a lot of these mothers, um, their efforts go unnoticed. And sometimes, unfortunately, we take for granted our mothers until the fact that our mothers are no longer with us. Okay, so let me just give me a moment. I'm going to now this person, this elderly person that you see here, she was my mom. Okay, um, my mom passed a lot of wisdom not only to me but to all of her children. Okay, and unfortunately, this is the fourth Mother's Day without the physical presence of my mom. Okay, however, I treasure her, I honor her, and this weekend, of course, I'll be going to the cemetery to visit my mother's grave. Okay. Uh, my mother went through a lot raising all of us. She was married to my father for almost 64 years, which in today's age, that is unheard of. And she was extremely loyal to to her children. Okay. So of course this weekend, like many other people whose mothers are no longer here, this is a bittersweet weekend. Okay. But the fact of the matter is she will forever live in my heart. Okay. So I just want to, and I just want to let everybody know that for all those that their mothers are no longer physically with them, okay, this can be a very bittersweet time because we have a lot of memories regarding our mothers, okay? And to be perfectly honest, you don't fully recover that loss. I mean, you get to the point where um, you're able to move forward and live your life without your mother, without the one that gave you, that provided the motherly image. I remember years ago after my mom passed away that Denise Gonzalez actually dedicated a string um, to the mothers, and and I have never watched it since I appeared. And the reason why is just that I just cannot bring it to myself to watch it because it's very bittersweet. But I know my mother lives in my heart. Okay, so that's something that that gives me encouragement. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now before I continue, let me just state that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join the panel and express their viewpoints regarding their mothers or motherhood in general, um, they're more than welcome to do so. Again, um, if I have never seen you before or heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage and make sure that you don't try to flash anything inappropriately, which could cause the good people of YouTube to take down this stream. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give me a moment. And I'm going to share an article uh, regarding mothers. Okay. Okay. And we'll share the article. Okay. Now, one of the virtues that mothers have. Okay, maybe phrase it in this fashion. One of the virtues that every loving and nurturing mother has is patience. Okay, and it's very important, particularly when we enter our teenage years, when we're starting to make adult decisions and making adult judgments. And sometimes mothers have a hard time letting go because we are still their babies. Okay, we could be 100 years old, but we're still going to be like a baby to our mothers. That is the reality. Okay, so let me just share. The last thing I wanted to hear as I heard the kids get ready to church was the words that I've spoken to them many times in the week. Mom, remember patience, the virtue, and the fruit of the Spirit. Then they can't remember to say thank you or where was the last that they left their shoes. But remember this: I was beyond impatient. I was angry. I was aggravated, but also convicted. How easy was it to come up with a memorable and catchy quotable to use with my kids, but how hard it was for me to receive it back from them. I always consider myself a pretty patient. I often commend my patience, especially with my kids, but our children see us when we are raw and real. They know that I am storing up all the sweet patience for the public. But when I get home, the bitterest nectar of impatience and frustration and noise will begin to pour out like oil leaking out of an old Mustang. My children see me when I am at my worst and at my best. No child wants the parent to be a hypocrite, putting the whole different persona in public and when church folks are around, versus when they are in the car and there's tons of traffic and they're running late for soccer. So my kids call me out. The repetition of my own words was a rebuke and a reminder to practice what I preach. And I believe that patience is a virtue and a fruit of the Spirit, then I need to act like it. Yes, I get it. This is something Christian leaning, but I'm gonna ask those who do not embrace Christianity to try to take it in the spirit that it was meant. And of course, they're talking about patience is a fruit of the Spirit. Okay. Is a communication attribute of God, meaning that is one that we share with God for imperfectly in his generosity and kindness. The Lord has allowed his people to share some of his attributes. As his children, we're called to be imitators of God and reflect on the characters and our thoughts. The patient is the divine disposition because it is an attitude of a heart that divinely given to us by the Spirit. Okay. I appreciate it, Irving, because I know, look, I understand some people may not, be all that crazy when they hear Christian talk like this, and I try not to go overboard. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to deny the fact of who I am. Okay. Now, of course, we all get angry at times, and sometimes, our anger gets the best of us. So I'm just going to continue. And because his righteous anger towards sin is poured out on Jesus. Well, okay. But the perfect example. Good evening, Celine. Thank you very much for stopping by. So the topic for tonight is a shout out to the mothers, and of course, one virtue that's very important that all mothers have is patience. Okay. And of course, this is through a biblical perspective. Okay. Biblical patience also refers to someone who endures hardship without complaint or offense. There are many examples of scripture where patience and suffering are linked to and serve as an example for us to persevere and remain steadfast in our struggles. One of the most expensive examples of scripture that of Job, a man who endured great hardship, but whose faith in the Lord never wavered. Okay, which goes back to my commentary before regarding YouTube creators, and the fact of the matter is we are going to deal with a lot of grief and a lot of hate, but we need to have a thick skin and the patience, to deal with such people and just learn how to just ignore them. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here. Okay, let me just highlight these comments. Look, the fact of the matter is, one thing that's very important that all good mothers have is patience. Okay, and particularly, like for example, if you tell a child the same thing 6,000 times, because sometimes it takes 6,001 times for the child to get it. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And let me just state for the record that, of course, my dear friend Golden Goddess have her channels as well. So I'm going to ask you that if you have not done so, please show some love. Check her content, subscribe, and also um, subscribe for her membership. And of course, Gigi is a mother. She does have children, and I think she does a wonderful job raising her kids. Okay. Regardless what people might say. So I'm glad you're here, Gigi, because tonight we're honoring the mothers. Okay, and when I mean the mothers, I mean not just the biological mothers, but also any lady that provided a loving and nurturing experience to someone else. Okay, you're quite welcome. Okay, you're quite welcome. Okay, and of course, like I said before, for many people, this is a bittersweet weekend because of the fact their mothers have gone to their final reward, and also there are other people who are estranged from their mothers for whatever reason. And one thing I was always tell people that treasure your moms while they are alive. Okay, you know, make sure that they know that you appreciate their efforts. Okay, make sure that you appreciate the patience that they're showing you. Make sure that and the fact mothers are very supportive. At least the good ones are. Okay, and if for some reason you are estranged from your mom, do whatever you can to try to be reconciled. Okay, and if you're not able, at least you tried. Okay, one of the worst things that can happen is that you are estranged from your mom and then your mom passes away before you can reconcile. Then you got to go through the rest of your life with all the guilt that's attached, um, of not taking advantage of the opportunities to try to improve your relationship with your mom. Okay, so yeah. And actually, and like I said, Gigi, I really felt that your stream this morning was very good. I already spoken with you earlier today, and of course, I was at work, so the problem is for me to use my phone to get the stream on. The problem is there's always an echo, and um, I would explain to you. I would explain to you the why I did not hop on. Okay, so there's really no need for me to repeat it here. So with that being said, another thing about our mothers is like, look, when we are born, they're the first person that sees us. Okay, and a lot of the times, even while we're in our mother's womb, our mother caresses us, our mothers speak kindly to us, things of that nature. And then they see us, you know, um, taking our first steps, taking our first, saying our first words. Um, Also, they're there when we reach, our milestones, as far as like going to school for the first time. They're there when we start dating, and of course, mothers being mothers are always concerned about the people that we hang with, about the people that we date, making sure that we don't get into the wrong crowd and things of that nature. A mother's work is never done. Okay. In fact, I remember an old adage, and I think it's true today. Man works from sun to sun, but a mother's work is never done. And that's something that I truly believe. Okay. Because from every moment of a mother's day, she's thinking about her children. That is, the responsible moms do this. Okay. Making sure that they're fed, making sure that they're clothed, making sure that you know that no one bothers them, and things of that nature. I mean, look, when you think about it, they do all this out of concern, okay? And really, and you know what could be one of the most painful things for a mother? To bury her own child, okay? That could be the most painful thing, because it is believed that the children should outlive the parents, okay? Unfortunately, before my mom passed away, she attended the funeral of three of my brothers and my older sister. Okay, so you can just imagine the grief of a mother losing a child. Okay, my mother had to go through that 4 times. Okay, and I find it amazing how resilient my mom was. Okay, and my oldest sister, God rest her soul, when she lost her only son in a vehicle collision, he was only 22 years old when he passed away. So I can just imagine the grief my sister went through. Okay. And that's something that's very painful for any parent, particularly when you lose a child. Okay. That's a deep scar that you have to bear. And sometimes we don't always see the sacrifices that our mothers do, okay? Because they do it automatically. But nevertheless, I mean, there are many times where good mothers will go without eating just to make sure that their children are well fed. And sometimes mothers will endure hardships, okay, um, in order to keep the family unit intact, okay. And sometimes they sacrifice so much happiness, okay, being in loveless marriages, being in marriages where the husband is abusive or being unfaithful. Okay. Um, and one thing that my mother said, okay, in dealing with my father, that she made a decision. Now we can agree or disagree, but she was determined that my siblings would not see another man in my mother's bed other than my father. Okay. Of course, of course that concept is a little seems a little odd or weird in today's society. It does that was the environment that my mother was raised because her parents were divorced as a child. So my mother had to deal with another man sharing her mother's bed with her. Okay, and and of course, as children, we don't always understand um, what is the struggles that our parents go through. Okay, all they see is they want to see mommy and daddy together. Okay, and when they divorce, it can be very traumatic for the children. Okay, which is why I always say that look, when it comes to settling down and marry, I mean, and this is applicable to both male and female. Okay, vet that person very well. You know what? It's a different generation. This was my parents' generation, which I forgot what is the term. Okay, so they they stayed together um, even when um, marriages was not the most productive. I mean, that it was a different mindset in my grandparents' day. So that's something. So some of us, some of the millennials and some of the Gen Z people, they don't understand that, and that sometimes they criticize our parents for making that decision. What they don't realize is the way that they were raised. Okay, now I get it that the millennials and the Gen Z people, their sense of morality, their sense of values may be different from the previous 2 or 3 generations, and that's and that's not. I'm not saying it in a negative light. I'm just simply saying that's different. That's that's something. That's all I am saying. But getting back, mothers are extremely patient. Mothers are very loving. Um, they will do everything that they can to make sure that their children are cared for. Okay, and of course, my mom, she did not have a lot of financial resources, but our home did not lack anything. We were well clothed, we were well cared for, and we received a great deal of love, and also we received some really positive values. Okay, so my mom, in my opinion, she was the best mom in the world. Now I know that all of us was to say the same thing about our mothers. That is, you see, that is true. That is true. And you know what? That's another topic for another conversation. But the reality is this: um, many of the children are being raised by single parents. Many of them by single moms, some by single dads. Okay, and of course, there's a lot of reason behind that. Uh, Some of that is unfortunately some people made poor choices and their significant others. Also, some of them single parents because they had to leave physically abusive relationships, and some of them became single parents because the other parent passed away. Okay, so I know that in some segments of our society, it seems like they glorify single parents like something like that's great, something to flex about. Okay, but in all reality, um, you are not doing your children a favor by not choosing who you're going to raise children with. Okay, and that's something. Okay, and a lot of people will shame the single moms, but let's keep look. We got to keep it clear, keep it honest. It takes two people to have a baby. Okay, and that's something we always got to bear in mind. We get on these single moms, but we need to get on these dudes that go around, without shamelessly spreading their seed and things of that nature. Okay, and I think all of you should know that I'm gonna call it as is. I'm gonna call it across the board. When it comes to the single parent situation, that's something that both males and females have screwed up in. Okay, I remember my mom, God bless her soul, when she was alive, and it's kind of comical when you think about it. That my mother in her 80s would be constantly reminding my male nephews that when you are with the ladies, please make sure that you have your party hat with you, meaning that you come with condoms, okay? Because she realized that young dudes, okay, they're going to engage in sexual intercourse with women, okay? And she was concerned that not only would they bring about unwanted pregnancy, that also they might come down with sexually transmitted diseases. So that's why my mom at her 80s would constantly remind my nephews and my nephews that whenever you are spending any time with the ladies, please make sure that you wear your party hat. Meaning, make sure that you properly use a condom. Okay. So, but going back to the topic, mothers are patient, mothers are loving. Also, they are a source of wisdom if we're willing to listen. Okay, because they have their life experiences. Okay, and also out of concern for us, they want to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes that they made. Okay, whether it be choosing the wrong partner, whether it be choosing the wrong people that we associate with, just making sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes they made. Okay. And so, of course, mothers are always going to want to make sure that when we're going out with our friends, make sure that there's the type of people that would that would not lead us astray, that would not be a negative influence and things of that nature. Okay. And of course, in a Latina household, okay, the parents are always super vigilant when it comes to the daughters. Okay, because they want to make sure that the dude that's trying to court them or what have you is someone that's not going to take advantage of them, is not going to use them as sexual playmates and things of that nature. Okay. So of course, the parents want to get to know these guys and make sure that they pass muster. Okay. And that's something that's true, whether it be in a Latina household, an African American household, a Caucasian household, or what have you. Mothers want to make sure that the people that their children associate with will not lead them astray, will not lead them to make poor choices or things of that nature. So these are things that, and at times we don't always appreciate it. But later on, when we get older and when we have our own kids, then we start to realize, you know what our mothers did say made a lot of sense. And I'm sure, Gigi, you can testify to this with your own children. I think you stated you had a daughter um, in the late teens or 20s, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Gigi, if you're still watching. Okay. But also, when a good mother, when they see their children upset or crying, um, of course they all want to. They all sense when when something's wrong with their own children. Okay, they have, I don't know what it is. I think they have, I don't know whether it's a sixth sense or whatever. But a mother always know um, when their children is upset. Okay, and they of course they want to, they want to do anything and everything um, to make sure that their children are okay. Okay, that's something. Okay, and these are the characteristics of a great mom. Okay, like I said, my mom, um, she had those characteristics. I'm sure, Gigi, you have those characteristics as well. Okay, I think Maltings are moms well, and also um, the fact of the matter is this: a mother's love is very unique. Okay, the only thing that's greater than a mother's love is God's love. Okay, because a mother, because yeah, of course. Look, let me tell you something. Say what you say what you want about these ladies. Okay, okay. But I consider myself very fortunate to be their friend, and I truly value their friendship. Okay, and I'm sure they're great moms, regardless what people will say. And if people don't like me saying about it, you know what? Maybe this platform is not meant for you. Okay, because I swear, people are always with these narratives and things of that nature, and some and the fact that you have some people being called everything but a child of God. But let's let's continue. Okay, let's continue with the topic. Now, one of the most painful things is when your mother passes away, when your mother dies. Okay, I experienced that almost 4 years ago, and the way that my mother passed away. Okay, just let me just for those who don't know, um, she had an infection in her foot. It was getting worse. So then I took her to the ER. And unfortunately, this was in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. And as a result, I could not go with my mom to the emergency room. So you can just imagine an elderly woman sick in poor health in the emergency room without her own children there to give moral support. Okay. And then while my mother was hospitalized, they amputated her left leg not once, but twice. And then shortly after that, my mother had a massive stroke. And she was in a vegetative state. And she had said it many times to us that if she was in that condition, that she did not want to be kept alive artificially. So we had made the decision that our mother would be placed in hospice care, and she spent the last few weeks home with all of us providing 24-hour coverage, and my mother passed away. And I took her passing very hard because out of all of us, I was the closest one to my mom. And, and of course, we all dealt with my mother's grief in different ways. And my younger brother, he made the arrangements regarding the funeral and everything like that. And of course, with COVID, with COVID, we had to like restrict it just to the family. And even with that, it's I mean, you're talking about four siblings and a whole bunch of nephews and nieces and things like that. I mean, so my only request was that I be the last one to say my final goodbye to my mom. Okay. And that request was honored. So of course, all of us had to say their final goodbyes, and my mom and I was the last one to say it. So it's very difficult when you lose a parent, particularly when you lose a mom. And that's something you don't fully recover. You just learn how to deal with it. Okay. No, actually I'm in the middle. Okay. Let's see. No. So there okay, next. So I have two older brothers and two older sisters, and I had two younger brothers and one younger sister. Okay. So out of eight of us, eight children, four of us have left. That's my sister Iris, who's 63, myself, who's 61, my sister Maria, she is 58, and my youngest brother, who is 40. I'm correct. 50, I'm sorry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article. Just give me a moment. So this article is going to be okay. How to deal with a mother's passing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share that. Um, And then I'm going to give my reflection, and then we'll see how the stream continues. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. Okay. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is, okay, oops. Just give me a moment because my computer is acting up. Okay. So this article is how to deal with the death of a mother. Okay. Okay. The reason why I'm discussing this is because, like I said before, for some people, this is a bittersweet time. Okay. Okay, that's just, okay, I'm sorry, it's just my computer. Okay, let's see. What? Oh, God. You know what? The circus is out. That's all I'm going to say about it. So let me just go on. Let me just go on. The death of one's mother is one of the hardest things people go through in life. Whether you had two had a great relationship, a strained relationship, or something in between, this event will likely have a significant impact on your life. Okay. So now we're going to deal with why is the death of one's mother so hard? Whether you're grieving the death of the mother who birthed you or a mother figure who raised you, you're either grieving the bond that you had or the bond you wish you had. John Bowlby, a British psychologist, believed that children are born with a drive to seek attachment with their caregivers, while others before him believed that attachment was food motivated. He believed that attachment is formed based on nurturing and responsiveness. Therefore, it makes sense that a grieving that attachment or lack thereof would be incredibly difficult. A mother is such an integral part of our lives in our society, in part because we are not raised in communities where a variety of caretakers, said Liz Schmitz Burnmouth, who has done research on mother loss and resilience. Okay. Now, this is how a mother's death can affect someone. While a mother's loss differs from other loss in some key ways, some of the same effects any kind of loss of bereavement are present. Some thoughts and feelings typical of grief are shock, numbness, sadness, disbelief, confusion, difficult concentrating, anger. That's known as the grief can show up physically, in addition to the more mental or spiritual indication. In your body, grief may look like digestive problems, energy loss, nervousness, sleep disturbances, weight changes, nervousness. Now, there's also a risk of psychiatric disorders such as major depressive disorder, panic disorder, post-traumatic disorder. Specifically in adults over the age of 70, manic episode phobias, alcohol use disorders, generate anxiety disorder. Now, what is complex bereavement? All grief is complex, but upon losing someone, many people are able to slowly readjust their daily routines or create new routines. Mental health professionals may call it complicated or complex bereavement if it has been at least a year and your daily function is still significantly impacted. Now, these are some of the signs of prolonged grief following symptoms that were significantly impacting your daily functioning after 12 months. difficulty moving on with life, emotional numbness, thoughts that life is meaningless, a marked sense of disbelief about death. In one study, 65% of participants with complicated grief had thought about wanting to die themselves after losing a loved one. So if you or someone you know is grieving, is having suicide thoughts of self-deletion, know that you're not alone and this is not uncommon for what you're going through. Now, this is how you can heal from the death of a mother. When loss is fresh, it feels like you will feel that way forever, but you won't. If you allow yourself to grieve and others allow you to grieve, says Schmitz Remal, you will probably notice that really intense feelings will lessen during the first few months after the death of your own mother. Good evening, Mo. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is a shout out to the moms. Okay, and of course, Miss Mo is a mom, and she also have her own channel. So I'm gonna ask if you have not done so, please check out her content and subscribe. She says that while most people initially realize it could be hard to lose a mother, they don't realize how hard it can be or how long it can take. People in our society often think we can move through grief in a month and be done with it. Too many people push us to get on with our life too soon after significant loss. We need to be able to grieve. We also need to adjust our expectations of ourselves. Okay. Some tips are feel the feelings or let yourself feel nothing. Talk about your feelings, spend time by yourself, spend time with others. Talk to her in whatever way that means for you and your beliefs. May include writing letters to her. And of course, um, by all means, seek professional assistance through a therapist. Okay. And we're going to park it here. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Okay, just bear with me because my computer is acting up. Okay. Anyway. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, anyway. I apologize. This is going to be a struggle strain, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's try this again, folks. Yeah. I truly believe that Mo is a great mom. Yeah, I mean, look, unfortunately, this is a struggle strain. That's all it is. That's all it is. But the fact of the matter is this: look, when you lose someone who played such an important role in your upbringing, it can be very painful. And this is something that we all got to bear in mind. Grief has no expiration date. Okay? And let me repeat that again. Grief has no expiration date. Okay? So when people say, snap out of it, whatever, they're not doing you any favors, okay? Because they're not going through the grief that you're going through. And we have to bear in mind that we all deal with grief differently. Okay, well, you know what? It's a struggle stream. It happens sometimes. But look, the show must go on. And that's how our life needs to be. Okay. we will always have a special place for our moms or the one that provided a motherly um, image and gave us our values. We're always going to treasure that. Okay. And, when it comes to like Mother's Day, and you know that you're going to be going through another Mother's Day without your mom because she's no longer here on earth, do your best to honor her memory. Okay. How you can do that? By applying the life lessons that your mother taught you. Okay. And one of them, I suspect, is you try to be the best person, the best version of yourself. Okay. Regardless what other people might say, regardless what other people might think about you. Okay. Do not let your detractors dictate who you are. Okay. If your mother was able to see through your imperfections and your flaws, the type of person you can be, then honor her memory and be the best version of yourself. Okay. Which is something that I have strived to do every day, um, ever since my mom passed away. And in fact, if you see my social media, okay, I have um, videos honoring my mom. Okay. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show. Okay. Now, this lady, now I know I showed this image before, but I believe I need to show it again. Now, this lady that you see in front of you was my mom. Okay. She was responsible for a huge part for the type of person I am today. She was the first person I saw when I left her womb. She was there through all my childhood. She was there, let's see, through 57 years of my life. She saw me when I made my great achievements, graduated from college, getting my own place, and she also saw me make some big mistakes, particularly when it comes to marrying my ex-wife. Okay. Yes, I think that is a very good idea, Irby. We should all subscribe to Gigi's membership because she does provide a lot of quality material. And I think Miss Mo has a membership as well. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I mean, look, I am who I am today because of my mom. Okay. And she believed in me when I had issues believing in myself, which is why I took her passing very hard. Okay. But I am, yes, by all means, we should subscribe to her show, to her platform as well. So when my mother passed away, it really affected me very hard. Okay, so and and again, one of the worst things that a mother can experience is burying a child. And my mother had to go through that 4 times. First with my oldest brother George, my younger brother Jesus, my older brother Albert, and my older sister Doris. So imagine a mother having to bury her child not once, not twice, but 4 times. That is a special type of pain that's very unique for a mom. Okay. I don't mean this sound a little somber, but it's just that I believe in keeping it real. Okay. So we're always going to look. We're always going to miss our moms. Those of us whose moms have passed away. But the best way that we can honor her memory is to be the best version of us of ourselves and hold those positive memories. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, we all knew the last few years of my mother's life that she was getting old and her health was getting worse. Um, she had to use a wheelchair to get around, and she was barely able to walk with a walker, and then she needed a lot of help. And I made sure that my mother never spent Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, or any of the holidays alone. Okay, because that could be very demoralizing for an elderly person to spend the holidays alone. And when my mother passed away, the first Christmas after her passing was very hard. And of course, it was in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Families couldn't get together, and after I visited my came home, visited my brother, I spent the rest of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve alone. So, with that being said, I had spoken for almost an hour and a half. If anyone wanted to hit the panel and express their viewpoint regarding the topic in question, by all means do so. Anyone wants to enter any more comments, they can do so. If no one else wishes to join the panel or have any more comments, I will start to wrap this up. Okay. Uh, I made a point that every year that I devote a stream um, to the moms. Next month, I will devote a stream to the dads. Okay. Of course, it's been now it's going to be coming close to 12 years that my father passed away. And unfortunately, my father passed away um, a couple of days before my birthday. So every year when my birthday comes around, I'm thinking about my father. Okay. So let me just get something to drink because my throat is dry. Okay. So if no one else wishes to hop on the panel, I'll start the wrap up. But before I do that, let me just state that next week, Monday, I will go live at 9 o'clock on this channel. Wednesday, I will go live at 9 or 9:30 on my other channel. And Friday, I'll go live around 9:30. Okay. So I'm just trying to tweak this, the schedule a little bit, and trying to increase my viewership, so to speak. Okay. Um, of course, a huge shout out to my supporters. I'm already reached over 90,000 views on this platform. I'm edging my way to 400 subs. I'm trying to get that done before the end of June. So I would appreciate you guys. You spread the word regarding this channel, and you know what it is. Look, you have. I'm just trying to create a time space, a time where hopefully the most people can hop up. And sometimes it's hit and miss. Okay. Sometimes it's hit and miss. Okay. So GD, I don't know if you can hop on just briefly and just share your topics regarding motherhood, because you are a mother, and and I know that as a mother you're always concerned regarding the well-being of your own children. Okay. But one thing, um, I have never had children. Now, of course, I was married. Okay. And we all know that it ended in divorce. And and as always stated before, we were both responsible for the marriage failing. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? There'll be other times. There'll be other times. Maybe the next time you can hop on. But in any case, really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. If you don't mind, I'll give you a call tomorrow. Hopefully you're okay. You're okay, Gigi. But getting back, I wanted to make sure that I discussed the topic regarding mothers. Okay, and I want to make sure that the great moms, the responsible moms, the moms that care for their children, make sure that they get their flowers. That's the whole point. Okay, because okay, so and I will say this again: if you're having some sort of issue with your mom, by all means, try. And I repeat, try to reconcile with your mom. Yeah, you know what? You know what? Unfortunately, you see, Gigi, and I believe me, if if there's anyone that's been through a lot of grief, is you, and I can say that. Now I don't know if you listened earlier at the beginning of the stream. It seems like Creole Chief either privated his channel or deleted his channel because now if you try to do a search, you're not gonna find it. I know that there was a video which he privatized or deleted, talking about deleting his channel, and that's the difference. Look, let me tell you something. You doxing him? No. But like I said, I'll call you I'll call you tomorrow. We can discuss it. We discuss it because I know that's a touchy subject. But you see, see Gigi. This is the point. You prove my point that I actually made earlier. Okay, because you've been through hell with some of these people, and you had deleted your channels, but yet you came back. Okay, and to me, I have more respect for people like you. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. And people that fluff what they're gonna think. Okay, because look, you've been through hell and back, but yet you continue to produce your content. So you have a great deal of respect from me for being, if nothing else, for doing that. You deserve a lot of you deserve a great deal of respect from me. Okay, which is why which is why I'm a little disappointed um, that Creole Chief either deleted his channel or privated his channel. I mean, because when you think about what he went through, doesn't even come close to what you went through. Doesn't even come close to what Moji's been through. Doesn't come close to some of the other female creators. Okay. And what gets you see what get and what is the crazy part? It's some of the people that attack you all mixed people. It's like that's the craziest thing. Oh my goodness. Talking about talk about Lulu line. I mean, oh boy. You know what? And again, let me just state for the record, and if people don't like what I'm going to say, then block me. Yes, exactly. Crabs in a bucket. Exactly. Look, again, you've been called everything but a child of God, Gigi. But yet you continue to produce content. And for that, you deserve a lot of respect up from me. And if people can't deal with that, okay. Yeah. Look, like I said, Gigi, you deserve a lot of respect, and I give you a lot of respect. Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. I get it. I get it. But like I said, if you don't mind, I'll give you a call tomorrow. Okay. But thank you very much for stopping by. But getting but but getting back to getting back to the final topic, the topic. Mothers are the unsung heroes of today, without a doubt. And Look, the bottom line is this: if your mom's alive today, be patient with her, um, love her, yeah, and just do your best. And if for some reason, okay, well, good night, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. So, um, so if for some reason you have issues with your mom, do try to reconcile. And if you can't, at least you know that you tried. Okay. Now, I know for my case, um, there have been a few people that I have beefs with, and I extended an olive branch. I extended an olive branch um, to the woman that broke my heart, and also caused me to delete myself. I extended an olive branch to my ex-wife of all people, who made life impossible. Made her part that made my life a living hell. I extend an olive branch to some of these other people that have beefs. I mean, the bottom line is this: learn to value the one that raised you. Okay. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up. Um, it would have been nice to have a perspective from mom, but hey, you know what? Things don't always come out the way you want, and that's something that we all have to understand. Okay, that things don't always work out the way we want, and we have to adjust. Okay, that's all. All of us have to adjust. Okay, whether it be losing a job, or in this case, losing a parent. Okay, so with that being said, of course, all of you are more than welcome um, to comment after the stream is over. Okay. Gigi, if you want to share it, I appreciate it. Georgia, you want to share it, that's fine. Okay. Because like I said before, the people know me, hang with me. I have no problem sharing my content. Okay. Everybody else who try to share my content for so they can take pot shots at me or pot shots at anyone of my friends, guess what? You're gonna be reported and you're gonna be flagged. But those who hang with me, who supported me, if they want to share this stream, by all means do so. Yes, and leave a comment. Okay. So with that being said, hopefully I'll see you all Monday night at 9 o'clock. I'll probably mention something about it, the topic, this weekend. But before I go, let me just state, we must do everything possible to minimize the influence of the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by the stupidity and massive insanity. As we can see, some of these people are overdosed with stupidity. So this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, peace, be the best version of yourself, and stay blessed, folks. Bye.